This week is all about those quick and classic behind-the-scenes SEO improvements. These are the things on everybody's list. Page titles, meta descriptions, internal links. No new photos this week, no holiday chaos, just simple changes that we're going to see how big of a difference they can make. Hi there, I'm Appy from iCode Happy. I'm a website and data advisor, and this is week 3 of our 7-week website experiment. I'm making small weekly SEO and AEO changes to a group of products that barely get any traffic, and we're tracking whether these tiny changes can move the needle on the visibility of these products. This is a real experiment for a client of mine, and let's get into it. So this is week 3. Week 1, we took a baseline and we updated the product descriptions. Last week in week 2, I updated the main blog post that features all of the products. These are perfumes and colognes. I added a little bit of a holiday angle. I tweaked the structure, updated the links. Today is Black Friday. Everybody's swamped, including me and my client. So we're doing the small tasks this week. These are fast, high impact, on-page updates. So the first thing I did for each product, for each scent or cologne, I updated the page title and meta description. Here's the first example. This is the page title and meta description for Cadillac Cowboy Cologne. Here's another example for Midnight Perfume. And you can see that I've followed the guidelines for the page title and for the meta description for the lengths that those ideally should be. By default, Shopify puts your entire product description in the meta description. Sometimes it's helpful to have a more clear statement of what the product is in the meta description. Makes it easier for people to know exactly what they're getting when they click on your link to come see your page. And finally, here is Western Skies Perfume. So all of the page titles and descriptions are updated. The next thing I did, I added more internal links, and I added a tiny element to each product description. It says, if you like this one, this scent, then check out this other scent that you might like. It's good for your SEO because you add links, but it's not just random. It's helpful information for your visitor. Here's an example for Coastal Cowgirl. Here's another example for Faith Perfume. And finally, here's an example for Smoke Show Perfume. And this one actually shows the last piece of what I did this week. And that was I linked each perfume to the main blog post. I already had links, of course, from the main blog post to each scent. But what I added this week was a link from each scent back to that main blog post. So this particular example shows you for Smoke Show, it shows you if you like this item, you can check out this other item that might also be to your taste. And it also shows you at the top this link where if you are looking at this scent and you would like to see the entire collection all at one time and read the blog post, then here is a link to that. So that's another way to strengthen internal links, also in a helpful way rather than in a random way. These changes help Google understand each product better, and they help strengthen the relevance between each scent. And as these items show up in more Google searches or in more AI searches, then we'll see if these changes make these items more likely to be clicked on. So those are the changes we made this week. Now let's take a look at the data. And as a side note, because we were already seeing impressions for these keywords, I picked these keywords by default because they match the products. If you are going to start your own experiment, keyword research is likely one of the first places to start. But we already have these keywords for each of these products, these scents. I have 2 tables to show you. First, let's look at the week-to-week results. So for the different scents and for the different metrics that we are looking at, how did things change from last week to this week? Overall, impressions for the most part went down a little bit. Maybe that's the holiday week. Clicks went up a little bit. That's encouraging. Keyword rank was a little bit of a wash. Some went up, some went down. And then finally, for the actual page sessions, 4 went down, 4 went up. They're still really small numbers. So what can we tell from this week's data? Overall, a few more clicks. That's pretty encouraging. The numbers are small, This is the time where it's tempting to change things up or try to make a bigger difference. But since we're seeing a little bit of encouraging data, my plan is to keep making these small changes and keep measuring the data. We'll keep watching the trends over the next few weeks. These foundational changes matter because SEO is all about clarity. If the search engines don't understand the products or how they relate to each other, nothing else will move. Now that our titles and our descriptions and our internal links are stronger, we're ready to take the next steps next week. Next week, we're going to shift into a little bit of social distribution. So we'll keep watching to see if these changes make a difference in the visibility of these products. If you want to keep following this experiment, subscribe and check back next week. What about if you'd like to run something like this in your own business? I'm going to offer a few slots for these kinds of sprints in January. If you're interested, you're welcome to sign up for the waitlist. There's a link in the description below. Thanks for watching. Come back and see me again.